Hi everyone.
Welcome to Italy.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Joy.
We're going to tell you a few important things that you need to know about your rights and obligations in this country. Come with us.
I remember how I felt when I arrived in Italy and was taken to the first reception centre. I was really confused and had lots of questions, just like you do now. They told me that Italy is a country in the European Union, and that here, anyone under 18 who isn't travelling with their parents or relatives are hosted in reception centres. We can feel safe here and find people who will help us understand where we are, what our rights and obligations are, and how things work.
The first person we want to tell you about is your guardian. This is Marco. He's my guardian. A guardian is a responsible and competent adult, chosen by a judge to guide and support us while we're in Italy, together with the workers at the reception facility. Until we've been introduced to our guardian, we can talk to the manager of the centre where we're staying about all the important decisions that we'll have to make. I bet you're all dying to do loads of things and go out exploring, am I right? You should know that you're not alone, and that there are lots of important institutions that look out for our welfare and help us build our future in this country.
The staff at the reception centre and our guardian will help us to talk to all of these departments so that each of us can find the best possible solution. I know what you're thinking, that it all seems really complicated. I felt exactly the same way. I didn't speak Italian and I didn't understand anything that was going on. Now I study, I speak Italian, I've made new friends and I'm planning my future. But it didn't happen overnight, so you need to have a little patience. Just remember that you're in a safe place now, the first reception centre, where you are eligible to receive help. So get some rest and get your strength back. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask the staff or your guardian.
You may have heard that you can continue your journey in Italy or other European countries on your own, but look out. You may become the victim of exploitation and violence, as has happened to so many other girls and boys. Remember that it is difficult to protect you if you don't use legal channels.
And to get that protection and have the possibility to explore the country we're in now, we need documents.
That's right. Just a few documents. However, I can't stress enough how important these are. With the help of staff, the lawyer and the social worker, and your guardian, you can decide what's the best pathway for you. We all have a different story, and that's why there are various options open to us. Before we turn 18, we all have the right to a residence permit. It's called a permesso di soggiorno in Italian, which permits us to live in Italy. However, some of us might be in particular situations, which means that there could be different options available. One of these is called international protection. We'll be right back to explain what this is.
Welcome back. We're now going to explain what international protection is. It's the protection that Italy can give you if your own country can't or won't protect you. If you're afraid to go back to your country because someone may hurt or kill you, or because you'll be forced to join armed forces or militias. If you fear you'll be forced to marry someone you don't want to. If you're afraid to suffer violence or discrimination for the way you are or the way you act, or that you will be forced to do something against your will. If you're afraid of being sexually abused or forced into prostitution, or afraid of suffering genital mutilation or enslavement, talk to your guardian and the staff at the reception centre to find out whether or not you should ask for international protection. It's important to tell the truth and to make the people who are helping you understand the reasons why you are afraid to go back to your country. Don't worry, they are not allowed to tell anyone else what you say. You're a team, and together you can face any type of danger you may be afraid of. If international protection is the best option for you, you need to prepare your application.
We're now going to give you some tips to help you do this. Start by writing down your story and your fears. And if you have any questions, the team at the centre is always there to help you. If it's difficult to talk or write about what happened to you, try drawing it. If you have documents, photos, or anything else that you think could be useful, don't be afraid to include them. OK, now let's take a look at how to apply for international protection.
The first thing you need to do is go to the police headquarters, which is called the questura, accompanied by your guardian. Here, you will be asked lots of questions about your story, your family, and how you arrived in Italy. There will also be an interpreter who will help you understand what's being said and translate what you are saying. Your answers will be written down on a paper named C3 form. If you're over 14, they will take your fingerprints. You also have the right to receive a copy of the C3 form. It is important that both you and your guardian keep all of the documents in a safe place.
Hey, do any of you happen to have family members living in Europe? If you have relatives in another European country, you can request to join them thanks to a law called the Dublin Regulation.
If you want to join them, talk to your guardian and the legal worker, because in some cases it's possible to be transferred safely from Italy to another European country, even if you applied for asylum and had your fingerprints taken in Italy. You need to be patient and wait for quite a long time, but the benefits could really make a difference to your future. Once you've submitted your application for international protection, a group of 4 specialists, the Territorial Commission, will listen to what you have to say and make a decision about your application for protection. Tell them who you are and what happened to you, and don't be afraid to ask them questions or clarifications. If you need help, your guardian will be by your side the whole time. There's no one who knows your story better than you.
I still remember how nervous and worried I was that day, but luckily my guardian Marco was with me. It's important to talk about why you left your country, and in particular why you don't want to or can't go back there. But you also need to tell them what happened during your journey here. If there's anything else that you think's important, feel free to tell them during the interview. Remember that the person who is listening to you needs to fully understand your story in order to make a decision. And so it's perfectly normal for them to ask lots of questions.
It will probably be difficult for you to talk about the more painful things that have happened in your life. But often it's exactly those events that are the most important. Everything you say will be vital to your future. However, if there are things that you really don't feel like talking about, explain why. Remember that the mother tongue interpreter has to translate exactly what you say during the interview and is not part of the decision-making process. If during the interview you don't think that the interpreter is translating what you're saying correctly, tell the interviewer and your guardian.
Everyone you meet is there to help you. If you don't understand a question, say so and ask them to repeat it. And feel free to ask for a break if you need one. If you like, you can ask for someone to be there to help you, social worker, lawyer, or psychologist. Someone that you may have already met and know. Someone who makes you feel more at ease. The interviewer will write down everything that is said in the minutes, and you will be able to reread them at the end of the meeting, together with your guardian and the interpreter. If everything that is written is correct and corresponds to what you've said, you and your guardian can sign it. Otherwise, you can ask that something be corrected or added. Nothing that you say during the interview can be shared with anyone else. The interviewer will then discuss your situation with the rest of the commission. They will then make a decision about your case.
That's the hardest part done. Then you'll just have to wait for the Territorial Commission to decide what type of protection you can be given based on your personal situation. You should know that there are 3 different types of protection: refugee status, subsidiary protection, special protection, and that the Commission may also decide that you don't need specific protection. Ask the legal worker for more information about this. In any case, remember that if the Commission's decision is negative or doesn't correspond to the form of protection that you and your guardian consider to be right for you, you can contest it. Talk to your guardian and the legal worker to see if this is the best option for you. Well, Adam, I think we've covered a lot of things, don't you?
I'd say so. There really is a lot of new things to learn here in Italy. It's a good job that we have our team to help us. You'll learn more and more about this country, just like we did, a little at a time. See you soon!